Hello everyone, you're welcome to this weekend edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bavle Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television, Mothers of the Nation paint the 8th of March International Women's Day celebration 2021 edition in black with tears, sorrows and pains of victims and survivors of security crisis in the northwest, southwest, far north, east regions and other parts of the Republic of Cameroon. They are calling on women to rise up in black and cry out and press for an end to the killings, the maiming, the destruction and other atrocities being committed within the framework of security crisis affecting the Republic of Cameroon. Also in this newscast, we'll continue with our series on South African, or first black South African billionaire, Patrice Motsepe, who is candidate to the post of president of the Confederation of African Football. Tonight, we're going to tell you Dr. Patrice Motsepe's football story and his 10-point action plan, which he believes will enhance the growth of African football. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the newscast on Equinoxe Television. Mothers of the nation are lamenting over the worsening security crisis affecting the Republic of Cameroon, not only in the northwest and southwest regions, but also in the far north and in the east and other parts of the country. And they are lamenting over the fact that years are going down memory lane and solutions to the crisis are not forthcoming. People are still being abducted, people killed, men, women, children maimed, tortured, and some abducted. Destruction going on, notably in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, and they are rising up to say no, enough is enough, to say an end must be put to the crisis, to the killings, to the destruction going on, particularly in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. They were speaking to the press today here in Cameroon's economic capital ahead of the celebration of the International Women's Day on the 8th of March 2021. Michelle Ndoki, a lawyer, is a member of Mothers of the Nation civil society platform, and she spoke to us. Take a listen.
I remember last year sitting here telling you that I was done with finger pointing, calling on the various leaders who are guiding us through this time, be them members of our government or leaders of the separatist movement or leaders of opposition party. I was calling on every single one of them, crying because something awful had happened. And we were expecting them to call it a day, a time, a year to stop this. Because as leaders, they've taken upon themselves to guide, to decide about our common destiny. So here we are, 1 year down the line. After raising our voices against the violence that has invaded our daily lives, the violence that is taking lives of our children, the violence that has destroyed the serenity in our communities, the violence that has transformed our nation forever. On 8 March 2020, we asked you to join us in black, in churches and on the street, to say no to this violence. 1 year later, look at us. We are obliged to call you again. And I remember as a leader, I was praying that there will be no tomorrow after Ngabu. No one saying we are Yaoundé or we are Moliko or we are Tico. But look at what happened. We're not talking about only Ngabu anymore. We speak of Kumba, Gechewe, Darak, Mautu, Matazem, Ebam, and Mwa. 1 year later, the killings have not stopped. Life is not back to normal. Safety has not returned and school have not reopened. 1 year later, the population in the far north, in the southwest, in the east, in Adamawa, the north and the northwest, all live in the specter of a violent conflict. 1 year later, in Douala, in Yaoundé, and in Bafoussam, the population lives under the threat of violent urban gangs, under the threat of bombs that are discovered as they struggle with other Cameroonians to access water, light, jobs, healthcare, and schools. Fellow Cameroonians, and especially women Cameroonians, this 8th of March, we are obliged to call you again.
And many communities in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon that have witnessed extreme violence and destruction as a result of the Anglophone crisis are still deserted today, and many of the victims are still expecting justice. This is the case of Ngarbo in the Donga-Mantum Division, northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, where at least 20 or more children, women were killed, and later it was established that the atrocities in that area were committed by elements of the National Armed Forces. And more than a year down memory lane, the victims are still expecting justice. The place is still deserted. Our Northwest correspondent Stella was there and our report.
This is what is left of this once vibrant community. It is now deserted. The remains of abandoned food stalls, burnt houses and graves are the only signs people once lived here. This is Ngarbo, 12 months on. At least 22 people were killed, among them women and children. The 4 affected families conducted mass burials. Here lies other victims of the Ngarbo incident of February 14, 2020. And this storm is a woman who was pregnant, her child, and a man. In this locality of Ngarbo, there are 3 others, adding to these to be 4, constructed by the government of Cameroon in memory of those who were killed. The images of what happened here 12 months ago are sealed in the minds of the victims. Fry Edison D is still devastated. He lost 9 members of his family.
We are sleeping in the night. We got shooting. After we discovered fire, we wanted to come out. After they locked me in the door, even me, I come out the through window. My small brother come out through window. My mother's called picture. In the house, they shoot you with gun, and my sister, and saw from my brother and another sister with a baby in the hand, baby which is only 2 weeks. They shoot with a gun and burn with fire. My brother, they are already now outside. I didn't know where they are now. So I'm talking now with tears because I lost of 9.
The Defense Ministry had shifted from the initial position of denying the army was involved in the Ngarbo killings after the Commission of Inquiry published their findings. The government also resolved to exhume the corpses and give them decent burial, a request rejected by the people on grounds that it was going to be disturbing. Here, a family of 9 were asleep when the unfortunate incident of February 14, 2020 happened here in Ngarbo. 9 of them were killed in this house and buried here in a single grave. 1 year after, the government has constructed 4 monuments like this one to remember these victims. Ngarbo 3 is almost empty. Many fled and are yet to return. They are yet to bury the past.
In Garbu now, I am not able to go there because when I go there now, I will feel pains. Remember my mothers, my sisters, and the chickens that they burn with fire, it will devour me.
Recently, regional authorities landed in Garbu, the place of the tragedy. They performed ceremonies at the graves to pay respect to those whose lives were cut short. The government is making sure that the terrible event of February 14, 2020 don't change Garbu forever. They brought support to rebuild the lives of the victims.
But he also decided to assist the bereaved family with money to rebuild their houses and to compensate the crops and the animals that were killed from the census that were carried out by the commission led by the SD of Mantu. He also asked me to tell to the family member that yes, we are commemorating the victims today, but maybe later on the family will still organize the funerals. The future of our nation is bright, provided we rely on our government, we rely on our head of state, we become from the grassroots to the highest level peace builder, peacekeeper.
Even as they receive this assistance, their tears still flow. 1 year since the tragedy, the verdict of those arrested in connection with what is today known as the Garbu massacre is still awaited. The affected communities want justice.
Mothers of the nation have said for this reason, the 8th of March 2021, the celebration of the International Women's Day must not be celebration, but rather a time to cry out, a time to press for all the atrocities, bringing a lot of sorrow, pains, and suffering to bear on the population of the Republic of Cameroon, notably those in the crisis-stricken regions of the country, to come to an end. And the mothers of the nation are calling on all women in particular to dress in black, to take up their responsibility to press for peace to return in the country, and to do all of these in a non-violent protest. Take a listen to Barrister Michelle Ndoki.
Our very survival, the survival of our people is at stake. And of course we will be asked by history, what did you say? What did you do? How did you help? And this is a question for every single Cameroonian, and not only those who are called leaders or who call themselves leaders. What have you done? Of course we are afraid. We are tired, we are preoccupied, and we ask ourselves, for some of us, what will we eat tomorrow or today? All the feelings are legitimate, but the feelings are not excuses. The feelings will not change the destiny of this country. We will change it. So we must come back. We must increase the numbers of those who can say no. Those who can say stop. Stop the violence. Yes to political transition. Yes to a future for us and for our children. Let us start again dreaming, foreseeing, projecting, having ambitions. Let us trace the way for our children. This month of March 2021, again we ask you, to join us and raise our voices for Cameroon. Because last year, a lot of us were there, but you were still missing. We were still missing some of you behind your screens, behind your telephones. Join us on 8th March in black to express our discontent with the growing conflicts in Cameroon and with the difficult daily life in our country. Support IDPs. You see them around you in Douala, in Yaoundé, in Bafoussam, in Loum, you name it, in Bangante. I've seen some in Babeti. I was there over last weekend. Support them. Because what is happening to them is happening to all of us. Join us as we plan for further non-violent action. This is the only way to make a difference. We stand up, we talk, we march. This is the only way. We need to express our discontent. There will come a time where bullets will not be enough to stop us. Look at me. They've tried to stop me with bullets. They've tried to stop me with threats. They've tried to stop me with prison. If I can still be here today, then what are you waiting for? That means bullets and prisons and police and soldiers are not enough. If what we are saying is the truth, if what we are striving for is good. So join us. Please, please, please join us to stop this. We cannot be discouraged. We cannot be afraid. Join us for an ecumenical service in honor of the victims of all the crises in Cameroon in mid-March. We, as women, we, as mothers, we, as mothers of this nation, must stand, speak, and act for the future of our children.
Barrister Michelle Ndoki, member of the Mothers of the Nation Civil Society platform, speaking there. We apologize for the error on her name. And in the same vein, farmers in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, notably those in Bona-Dikombo Mile 4, Limbe, are sending a distress call to the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, calling on him to do everything possible to end the 4-year-long armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. They say the crisis has brought untold suffering in their homes. They are unable to carry on with their activities. They are unable to do business, especially on Monday, which used to be an important market day before late 2016 when the crisis started. David Sinmaimo reports from Limbe.
Bona-Dikombo Mile 4 is host of one of the peripheral markets in Limbe. The market is known for fresh foodstuffs from the farms around Bojongo, Wututu, Buana, Busumbu, Dumatong, Monkey Hill, Ewongo, just to mention but these few. The market 2 official days, Mondays and Thursdays, has been reduced to 1 Thursday due to the fact that Mondays has been forcefully hijacked by separatists, popularly known as Country Sunday, with 90% of businesses shut down throughout the 2 Anglophone regions, the Northwest and Southwest.
We never start here for Monday, we say only one day and a Thursday.
We get market now only for Thursdays.
We start for Monday, now only Thursdays. So they don't destroy, we only close, so they come market now one time for 1 week.
Bona-Dikombo Mile 4, set to be close to separatist hideout, is unarguably a targeted area. Hence, towing separatist line is the only option for survival.
They say na go start all man the fear for come market.
Yes, Monday na Country Sunday, so we need to sell for Monday.
They be done bound them.
Now how the crisis don't come now, they say go start, so any man the fear is.
With the influx of internally displaced persons, IDPs in Limbe, almost everyone in the market is a seller, with very limited buyers.
All IDP then they don't flock for my phone. They suffer. No money, no day for buy something.
IDP they over entire. So any man they try to survive. So that they survive na true family.
Some of the poor farmers say, with just a day in a week to sell their farm produce, life has been very difficult.
I said, market the worker, sell with the sofa.
Yeah, when they breathe all my day fine, we they fine. No, they fine. We for my phone would over suffer.
The farmers are pleading with the government and separatists to give peace a chance.
Me they try to fix the country, at least me always to the feel free for inside the country.
But problem is me they fix the country. Because on side will enjoy saying on side he suffer.
Make government is solve problem for Southern Cameroon. May solve problem for Southern Cameroon. So that may all will be in peace. Papa, we beg. Even now, can't tell what we don't do for you. Make you forgive will. How Jesus Christ will forget the other people there. Make you take will like unpicking them.
Everything being equal, the people of the northwest and southwest regions can only pray and hope for life to go back to normalcy.
Goods worth more than 10 million francs CFA have been consumed by wild flames here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. The flames engulfed shops at Rue Jamon here in Douala earlier today. Sumanjik and Gabriel files in details.
From the windows of Equinoxe Television, one could spot dark smoke oozing out from a building. Moving towards the building, we discovered that there were stores belonging to some business persons located at Rue Jamon in Mobile Bonakwangwang in Douala. The stores were attacked by an inferno early this morning when their owners were not yet around. Few moments later, the army rescue van is spotted on top speed coming to put out the flames. Before the army rescue soldiers could prepare themselves for the battle, the flame continued to destroy many items in these stores. One of the shops that flames attacked this morning, in it contained imported goods like refrigerators, electronics, and diverse kitchen utensils. The other shop closer to it had inside clothes, including wedding commands. As the army rescue soldiers tussled to put out the flames, owners of these stores couldn't hide their feelings as some cried while others were perplexed, seeing their business collapsing. The owner of the store that deals in wedding materials told us off the microphone that he had wedding gowns ordered by a couple for a wedding that was supposed to come up this Saturday. 5 other commands next week, all of them had paid part of their money. It took 2 hours for the army rescue soldiers to put out the flames. Till now, apart from the material damage that was recorded, no one can tell from where the flame began before it destroyed these stores.
Now we continue with our series of reports on first South African black billionaire, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. I told you that he is a candidate to the presidency of the Confederation of African Football, and he is a lover of football, a promoter and owner of proprietor of trophies, winning Mamelodi Sundowns FC in South Africa, and he had assisted in he took part in the organization of the World Cup 2010 in Nelson Mandela's country, and now stands as candidate for the presidency of the Confederation of African Football. Innocent with the football story of Dr. Patrice Motsepe.
Unlike what we have experienced in many of the empowerments, the black empowerment comes in,
The billionaire aspiring CAF boss, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, famous in mining, finance and social domains, still stands as football role model to many soccer lovers, though a mining magnate. The Soweto-born billionaire brandished his passion for football by, in 2004, buying and having full control of the football club Mamelodi Sundowns, the most renowned and trophies-winning team in South Africa. With Patrice Motsepe, the club in 2017 won its first CAF Super Cup by defeating the tough TP Mazembe 1-0 at the final to woo joy in Nelson Mandela's country.
These boys are soldiers. They play football the proper way.
Peter inspires millions of us. And for me, I always say that let's clap hands for Peter. Where's Roland? And where's Wendell? Come Wendell. You know, look, Minister, this is a South African outfit.
Everyone to the African Champions League final here at the Super Stadium, the Lucas Moripe Stadium in Atteridgeville. Mamelodi Sundowns against Zamalek.
Before then, in 2016, Mamelodi Sundowns, nicknamed the Brazilians, beat Egypt's Zamalek club 3-1 on aggregate in the CAF Champions League final to claim their first ever continental title and becoming only the second South African team to be crowned champions of Africa. They have also won the Nedbank Cup 4 times and hold the joint records of 3 National Football League championships. They are the first South African team to compete in the FIFA Club World Cup, where they finished safe.
Of course, by the way, there's an own goal, but Percy Tau. Yaslafor is onside. Oh, what a cracker! What an absolute cracker! Anthony Lafort.
Metamorphosis of this club became rapid in 2004 when the CAF presidential candidate Dr. Patrice Motsepe took control of it and became best and renowned in South Africa. In preparation of the 2010 World Cup, Patrice Motsepe greatly assisted Dr. Danny Jordan, president of the South African Football Association, to make the event a success, an indelible one for South Africa. Patrice Motsepe, who masters football, blessed with his soccer glories, stands firm as candidates among 3 others and has as hope development of African football, restore best governance to CAF with his 10-point action plan he presented few days ahead of the elective congress in Rabat, Morocco at Santon Convention Center on March 12, 2021.
Apart from being a mining magnate and a political figure, Dr. Patrice Motsepe is indeed a football lover. In that perspective, he has presented a 10-point action plan which he believes will enhance the growth of African football, curb financial scandals within the Confederation of African Football and National Football Federations, and these he will implement if voted as president of the Confederation of African Football. Dr. Patrice Motsepe adds that women will be a priority, will occupy a priority position in his agenda.
In his campaign to become next CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe presents 10-point action plan to get quality football in Africa. His first project is to invest in developing and growing football in the continent and build partnerships and sponsorships with potential partners.
There are many companies all over the world who want to give money to football, but they want to be comfortable that the money will not go into the pocket of the leadership of football, and that the money will indeed be used to develop, to grow, to contribute towards the improvement in the quality of football in Africa.
Commitment to ensuring CAF and its 54 member associations in the medium to long-term period are self-supporting and globally competitive. build mutually beneficial partnerships and sponsorships.
One of the plans that we're going to come with is to look at some of the countries where, as part of the infrastructure development, we can make them part of a commercially sustainable and profitable partnership.
In developing football infrastructures, the South African billionaire puts youth first to revive African football. He hopes to develop football from the base by setting up football schools. The CAF presidential candidate also hopes to woo financial support from 6 sub-regional and zonal associations to organize and embrace national under-15, 17 and 20 youth competitions.
Prize money for the Africa Cup of Nations as well, the AFCON Cup. So we will restructure these in the next 2 years, both the Africa Cup of Nations as well as the Champions League.
Developing and nursing women's football is also a vision of Patrice Motsepe. He hopes to engage in extensive consultations and discussions with women's football participants and stakeholders for evaluation of existing challenges and make reforms. Regarding point 7 on protection of the integrity and professional refereeing, he notes the integrity, independence and professionalism of referees is crucial for the credibility and success of football in Africa. Training and educating female referees will also be encouraged to increase the number of female referees officiating at top level, with the video assistant referee to be implemented at all CAF senior competitions. Still, in his action plan, Patrice Motsepe intends engaging statutory reforms to ameliorate, enforce, and strengthen administrative, managerial, and operational efficiency of CAF. Also, eradicate the financial scandals which have become common within CAF and the national football federations. To this effect, the aspiring CAF president announces creation of a group constituting 6 regional or zonal association presidents, the CAF president and his assistants, to thoroughly check these so as to give the continent's football a charming image. According to Patrice Motsepe, if this 10-point action plan is voted into CAF's body, then the taste of real quality football will only be sought in Africa.
That's it for the first part of this newscast. Talking Point is up next. Thank you for staying with us in Talking Point. Today we are receiving Her Excellency Madina Adefunke Olaniyan, wife of the Consul General of Nigeria in Douala, Cameroon, and she worked with women in New York, United States of America, Madrid in Spain, and is currently working with women in Cameroon to develop skills and talents and to help them to acquire vocations and create networks for empowerment of women. And in Cameroon, Nigerians women in Douala are being mentored by her to enhance their businesses, professions, and vocations. Her Excellency, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
This is the Week of Women, heading to the 2021 edition of the International Women's Day. And today you're here with us. You've been in Cameroon for about 2 years.
Yes.
How has it been, your stay in Cameroon?
Cameroon is good. It's one of the African countries. And as an African, I should be able to fit well wherever I find myself. If I could go outside Africa to enjoy myself, some other part of the world, like Europe, America, this is home for me.
Right. Are you enjoying the Africa in miniature, the hospitality of Cameroon?
Correct, absolutely.
Right. All right. We are talking about women today, and we're going precise to talk about women in the entrepreneurial world. You are an entrepreneur and you are an expert in empowering issues that has to do with empowerment of women in that domain and in other domains also. How is it the state of affairs in the female entrepreneurial world in Cameroon and the rest of the African continent, your country, Nigeria?
Yeah, you know, in Cameroon, I met a lot of women who are so passionate about women entrepreneurship as well. And then from what I've seen so far in Cameroon, the sky is the limit of the entrepreneurs here and those women who believe in creating jobs and making life better for people. In Cameroon, I know GCAM.
The Cameroon Employers Union.
Correct. And I was there today. I was really impressed. You see women bringing up their ideas, solidifying it, and making things happen. I patronized so many of them when I got there because I was really impressed. You can imagine somebody coming from Africa, try to use the condiments that our mothers have used several years ago, bringing it back to make sure we feed our family very well with natural items.
Right.
That's very fantastic.
In Nigeria,
and some other things.
In Nigeria and the rest of the continent, what's your view about the entrepreneurial world as far as women are concerned? Women excelling?
Well, in Nigeria, it's an exemplary case. There's a particular lady that I'm so passionate about, Billy Kisu. She's in Lagos, and she made sure that the whole world enjoy the environment by making sure that the refuse who are being generated by the communities are being taken away and recycled. She is now doing well and is an example for other women. We have so many examples of women in Nigeria that are making it, be it in a fashion line, and then cosmetics line, and then even in Nollywood, trying to train people. I think we have this opportunity or exposure before of the enterprises, trying to create jobs for people, trying to train the unemployed graduates. I think the economy of Africa should be skyrocketed by now. And I can tell you point clear that the sky is our limit in Africa.
Female entrepreneurs across the continent seem to be braving stereotypes and breaking into new grounds. What is the push factor?
It is the society. It is the individual that makes society, mind you. And once the society is aware of the social problem we are dealing with, and they brace up to say, okay, we are here for it and we are going to help our people to break through. And that is just the backbone of being, the women entrepreneurs growing higher and higher and excelling in everything they are doing. Just for instance, this cosmetics world. From the point people are aware that we have enough natural resources in Africa, cut across the whole world. We don't have to go for GMO made creams. We need to go natural. And our people have gone for training so many places. And now they are putting it in place to help people. And just for instance, if I buy a cream today from local store, just like I was in GCAM today, and I use it on my skin, I use it to grow my hair, and everything's going fine. Do you think I'm not going to promote such a very great idea? I will do that. And that is what is happening right now.
Homemade production and consumption.
Yeah.
Should be promoted.
There's a financial task when it comes to entrepreneurship. What do we mean by entrepreneurs? The entrepreneurs are the people who try to create business with the financial risk, but hope for profit. The World Bank is really trying because a lot of us are benefiting from this women entrepreneurship that people now enjoy financial aids from both individuals, society, and the international businesses and the international sponsorships from all over the world. Thanks to the internet promotes people. Once you're able to showcase what you do, you see all over the place, people will come up and say, oh, we're interested in you, especially if you are making good sales, and a lot of people are commenting. Your review online will definitely sell you out.
And the difficult thing sometimes is to start.
Exactly.
Most of the women, with regards to some issues around them, they are finding it difficult to start. But there was a female entrepreneur with me here yesterday, and she said that a woman can become an entrepreneur from the kitchen. Can start from the kitchen with the kitchen utensils.
Correct.
Let me find out from you, how did you start, you in your own entrepreneurial endeavors? How did you start?
Okay, thank you very much. My own entrepreneurship did not start from the kitchen. It started from my mother. Right when I was small, my mother used to be a business woman. I follow her all over the place, for business, to get items to sell. But there's a point in my life that I realized that I just have to be an entrepreneur. That was when I graduated, far back 1993, and I finished my service, and it was so difficult for me to get a job. Then in Nigeria, there was an embargo on job that time. I was married. And I said, okay, so am I supposed to be sitting down alone? So what I did was that, okay, I just decided to use a token that I have with me. Enter market. I look around my community. What would they like to buy? Guess what? The women are the most powerful purchasing entity I've ever seen. They have high purchasing power that their husbands might not even go near them. So what did they decide to buy? Kitchen items. Women, they like kitchen items, something to help them cook in the kitchen. And that was what I was selling. And I became big. And since then...
What are some of the challenges that you had to brave, that you had to break through?
As an entrepreneur, you have to target your customer. You have to make sure you do your research very well. If you do not do your research very well, you might find it difficult to move on with your initiative. If you do not have a target of who are those I'm serving in the society, who are those who will be interested in what I'm doing, there will be a problem. Okay, so the problem I first faced when I started my own was that people around me, middle class, up to maybe level 17 officer around me, but at the same time, I did not limit my sales to them. I still include the gatemen and these petty workers. So what I found out was that if I do not make sure I find my strategy on how to bring up what the low level earners will be able to buy and pay, there will be a problem. Some of them will like high expensive things, but if you are not careful, you might not get your money back. And then that was why I was able to break through.
So you decided to make your products affordable? even for the poor and the low-income earners.
Fantastic, yes. That was what I did.
And that probably helped to boost the demand for your products and then the benefits thereof.
Yeah, and I discovered that this low-level class people, once you're able to bring them close, they understand you, they know you like them, they know you're not so hard about what you said to them. They want to improve yourselves. They will popularize you, and they make your initiative or whatever you're doing, your business, to grow.
Because how much are issues like difficult access to land, financing, problems or obstacles to women today?
Where I came from, that's Nigeria, the government has really helped a lot on that note. And then that's helped the entrepreneurs, because the government decided that whoever is ready, for example, agricultural empowerment, the government is giving them land, the seed to sow, how to harvest, and the market. And that helped agricultural entrepreneurs who are coming up now.
Now, the women that you're mentoring, a significant number of them here in Cameroon, after you did so in New York, the United States, and in Spain, those that you're mentoring here, what are you telling them? How are you bringing them up to your level?
Thank you. Some of our women here are professionals, and most of them are low-level business women. And this is what I tell them. Okay, so Rome was not built in a day. I decided to tell them my story. And along the line, most of the things I tell them, when I gather them together, I say, please, the fact that you're a woman does not make you not progressive. If you're a hairdresser, you learn how to make hair, to plait, to do whatever, to make people shine, then you need packaging. Serious packaging. Even your billboard will tell a lot of, very high, they will tell people that this is a very high level fashionist or salonist or whatever, those who make people fine. So I discovered that some of them have the issues. What are the issues? Issues about...
We're running out of our time.
Thank you.
Just
so the issues they face exactly is the financial one. And I told them how to make it. Some of them I come up with some tokens to give them to add more to their the money that the business capital, to make sure they grow.
Right. And you're also giving them knowledge and how to use what you're giving them.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Her Excellency Madina Adinfunke Olaniyan, wife of Consul General of Nigeria in Douala. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for this weekend edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Equinoxe what comes up next, live from the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, with Serge Alonto. Stay with us.